Shalom, shalom. Giving our praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. Today's class, smoking weed in the truth. We got some niggas in the truth thinking they're supposed to be high. And it's an abomination to God, man. So, all that out there that's thinking that it's the herbs and we can grow herb, man, and we can get high because the Most High put it there for us. If it's there for us, it's got to be a reason it's there for us. Hemp, like a lot of people don't know, hemp and stuff was used basically making hats and other things, man. It was never meant for smoking. Only somebody want to smoke it is these niggas. And I'm going to tell you something. You got a lot of them on Facebook high as hell. You got a lot of them on YouTube high as hell. And we got a lot of people out there watching them. These guys are bugged out their mind. But I'm going to cover everything today. Let me get started, man. We're going to start in Genesis. Let's start from the beginning. Let's see if he made it for us to smoke. See, because another thing, I have yet to know no prophet to be high. So if you're serving for the Most High, how is it that you high? It doesn't apply. So these niggas that's high, and a lot of them, man, they're in certain schools, you'll find out they don't keep a lot of the commandments. They against the chart now, and then a lot of them double-minded, man. So what I say and bring to the body is all true. So the thing is, what we doing here, matter of fact, give me that first video, man. I want y'all to see this first video. I want to show y'all what they doing to this stuff now. Play the video.
KPIX has learned some pot from Bay Area dispensaries contains a powerful pesticide so toxic, even the tobacco companies won't touch it. Only on 5 tonight, Wilson Walker puts local pot to the test.
Cannot tell by looking at your cannabis whether it's contaminated with pesticides, residual solvents, molds.
Want to know exactly what's in your marijuana?
This particular instrument here is a liquid chromatograph.
Just ask the team at Steve Hill Labs.
We see that the cannabis that comes into the lab is often would have to be destroyed in other states.
And that's because states like Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, and Colorado have either set limits on or banned certain pesticides for use on marijuana. And tonight, we're going to focus on just one of them.
But yeah, so myclobutanyl is a fungicide. It's for mildew, molds and mildew.
Myclobutanyl, often sold under the name Eagle 20, is approved for use on things like grapes and hops because if you happen to love it, it's considered harmless. But if you set fire to myclobutanyl,
if you smoke it, if you heat it, it actually can produce a substance called hydrogen cyanide. Hydrogen cyanide is very toxic to humans.
That's exactly right. The federal government prohibits the use of Eagle 20 on tobacco. But remember, California currently has no such pesticide rules when it comes to medical marijuana.
So yeah, we have an expectation that the stuff that they get at dispensaries is going to be safe and clean and well tested. But the fact of the matter is that this is an unregulated environment until now.
So how much Eagle 20 might you find on California's medical marijuana? Well, we purchased samples from 5 different Bay Area dispensaries. Since not everyone gets their marijuana from a dispensary, we also arranged for the acquisition of some marijuana sold on the street, and we sent it all off to the lab.
Only one of those 6 had no detectable pesticides.
That's right, just one clean dispensary sample, while 3 more had enough test failures in Massachusetts or Nevada. Now, our black market sample, it failed on 9 different pesticide tests.
That's somewhat unusual to have that many hits on one sample.
But if you're thinking the street weed was the dirtiest, guess again, because our last dispensary sample, a product sold as medicine, was far and away the most contaminated, with myclobutanyl levels at more than 13 times the amount allowable under Oregon law.
The main ingredient, myclobutanyl, of Eagle 20.
But now the clock is ticking for California to come up with its own safety standards. What pesticides will be allowed at what levels? And how will it all be tested for consumption?
But how will the level of the industry that's coming down the pattern?
Yes, most of California's marijuana is being grown, no questions asked. The result is plenty of products you would probably rather not smoke.
Yeah, unfortunately, without any regulations requiring testing, it's the purveyor, whether they want to or not.
All right, right there, positive, man. So, all these your undercover smokers, know there's a price to pay, man. What we're trying to do is basically show you that if you're in this truth and you smoking weed, you out your mind. And I'm gonna tell you something. Really, you just a GMO Israelite. You worse than the food, man, because they poison us with the food. You thinking they're gonna give you some good herbal to smoke? See, a lot of people don't understand it. But let's go to Genesis 1 and 29, man. We're going to Genesis 1 and 29. Read that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed,
Read on.
which is upon the face of the earth.
Everything is got its own thing that is useful. But you would never see none of the Israelites nowhere in the scriptures smoking weed, man. Read on.
And every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
Because every seed have a purpose. So we was not in Israel having cannabis crops, man. Straight BS. So if you got Israelites out there smoking weed, they're not in the truth, man. I'm just telling you the truth. Read on.
To you it shall be for meat.
It's to you, it shall be for meat. What do? You eat. You do not smoke. It didn't say nothing, even if, and you got some of them that, well, I can cook. No, everything have a purpose. Now, I'm not going to deal with the medical side of it because there was nowhere in the scriptures that said they ever used a cannabis plant for any medication. So we're going to stick with what the scripture's saying. We're not going to go with what some nigga in the truth, that's so-called in the truth, because y'all have to understand, the 2/3 are going away too, man. And their job is to deceive and to cause as many to err. Read on.
And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat.
For meat to eat, man. Because at this time, we was not eating meat. Everybody was vegetarians at this time. Read on.
And it was so.
And it was so. Give me Genesis 2 and 16.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16. And the Lord God commanded the man,
Read.
saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
So when did he ever show, where is in the scripture saying we was eating cannabis, man? We was eating anything to cause us to err. It was never so. Give me Psalms 146 and 3. See, the problem is when you start analyzing these things, man, and I'm going to cover everything today, because if you're out there smoking weed, man, you're an abomination to God. You might well go back in the word, might well get a Christmas tree. There's no difference. Read out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 146, verse 3. Put not your trust in princes.
Don't put your trust in men's, man. Don't put your trust in these Israelite men. I've been in the truth 10 years, but I'm still got a blunt in my mouth. Read that again.
Put not your trust in princes.
Don't put your trust in them, man. Some of these guys that got camp schools, they still getting high. They're not in the truth. Just a nigga running around. Read on.
Nor in the Son of Man.
Nor in the Son of Man. Read.
In whom there is no help.
There is no salvation, no deliverance, man. Put your trust in the power. Read on.
His breath goeth forth.
His breath goeth forth, the wind. Read.
He returneth to his earth.
And he returned to the earth. Read on.
In that very day his thoughts perish.
And that very day, his thinking vanished, man. They go astray. Read.
Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help.
See, happy is he that have the God of Jacob. Read on.
Whose hope is in the Lord his God.
See, only our hope is in the Lord. When you ever think about it, man, it say, be ye therefore perfect like your Father in heaven. It's the Most High up there getting high. Come on, man. You got niggas in this truth, and I keep trying to warn you. But see, we'll follow anybody, man, that they can break a scripture down. That don't mean that they follow in the power, man. Don't be fooled by wolves in sheep clothing. That's what it's talking about, because the so-called white man can't be a wolf in sheep clothing. We see he the devil.
That's right.
Read on.
Which made heaven and the earth, the sea, and all therein, and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever.
They keep it true forever. True doctrines. You got to have a true doctrine. You can't have just any old thing, man. You got a lot of people out here, man, are not. I'm going to tell you something. You can tell we're getting close, man. You can see the wickedness. And I just try to tell brothers, be patient, man. The Most High will feed you. Read on.
Which executed judgment for the oppressed.
See, he which execute judgment, ordinance, laws, man. We're not going to be gathering with somebody that's high. Because guess what? When your mind is unstable, what you start next? You start lusting. Then other sins start to creep in. Now you can have two wives. You ain't got to have a job, but they both go to work to take care of you. Is that a man of the Lord? No. That's just a nigga that knows about the truth.
That's right.
He worse than an infidel, man. Read on.
Which giveth food to the hungry.
He give food to the hungry. Read.
And the Lord looseneth the prisoners.
See, he gonna loosen the prisoners, man. He's gonna undo the prisoners in the mind. That's what y'all have to understand. Read on.
The Lord openeth the eyes of the blind.
See, when the Most High got prophets here on the ground, he's gonna open your mind, man, to this truth. Because you can keep fooling yourself, man. Oh, this guy here. See, some sisters, they fall for some of them traps. Oh, he a good-looking man. But he the devil, man, behind the mic. Some guys, they fall for them tricks. Oh, man, he cool, man. He speaks real good. I'm going to tell you something, man. How is Satan? It wasn't Satan in the garden, man. It was another nation that tricked Eve. So be careful, man. And I warn people, be careful out here. Read on.
The Lord raises them that are bowed down.
He raises them that are bowed down, man. That bow down. That keeps the commandments. He don't deal with you if you're not keeping no commandments. You done for. Read.
The Lord loveth the righteous.
He what?
The Lord loveth the righteous.
Lord loves the righteous, man. He don't like men's and weak men's. He don't like Jezebel's sisters. He don't like anything out of order. He loved the righteous. Simple. I keep telling y'all this Bible is simple. It's the niggas out there in the world that makes it hard, man. The ones that are always making videos of their brothers. See, I see something out there. I'm not finna go type your name in the title. I'm just gonna bring it like it said, like it T.I. is.
That's right.
I'm just gonna bring it to you the truth. Either you like it or you don't. It's what the Most High put in my spirit. Read on.
The Lord preserveth the stranger.
Read on.
He revealeth the fatherless and widow. But the way of the wicked,
The one that's smoking blunts,
he turneth upside down.
he gonna turn them upside down soon, man. He gonna deal with them. That's why we ain't gotta deal with them. We're gonna let the power deal with them. It's better. To me, I'd rather be in the hands of a bird than to be in the hands of the Most High, man. I'm just telling you, he can be pissed off as hell. I'd rather still deal with him than to deal with the power, man.
That's right.
So you shouldn't be afraid. Give me this next video, man, about this sister, about marijuana, man. Let's see what this stuff does to you.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Genuine Approach. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my addiction to weed. I started smoking actively when I was about 17 years old. I didn't officially quit until I was 19. My experience with weed has been quite a trip. I remember one of my best friends coming to me, and she was like, Jennifer, don't you think that you function at your best when you're not smoking?
You do function at your best when you're not high.
I'm much more active. I don't eat as much. One thing about me is when I smoke, I eat like I have nothing.
Pardon. You got a nigga in your house that's smoking weed, you ain't got no snacks in there. No juicy juice in the kitchen, man. No honey buns or ding dongs in your kitchen. They will be gone, man. I'ma tell you what, and you know, and this is a man of the Most High. Come on back with the video, man.
I'm wiping whatever's in my direction. I was extremely lazy. I'd be going to the gym.
Hold up. That's another thing, too. You don't see these guys out on the streets no more. They behind a camera. They doing the Lord's work sitting behind a camera all day, man. Say go out to the highways, man.
That's right.
You're not on no highway on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live, man. Crazy. Play on.
And canceled because I was too high to go. It's the first thing I did in the morning. It's the last thing I did at night. I was smoking like 6-7 times a day.
Positive. So who's her God? Mr. Blunt. How's you got fringes on and you at the trap house? Do your weed man deliver it to your house now? So I guess he delivering the cigars too, because you in the store with your fringes on. You probably ain't got them on because you're too embarrassed and they're buying 2 for 99 cents. Play on, man.
I suffered from 3 minor heart attacks.
3 minor heart attacks.
I didn't want to go to school because I was too high.
They don't want to do no work.
It's one of those things that taught me I had anxiety. But because I didn't identify with anxiety, I didn't know that I was suffering from anxiety attacks. I didn't identify with depression because the forms of depression that I had learned were either the far extreme or just things I didn't identify with. When it came to mental health, I didn't identify with me having a mental health issue because in the cases that mental health was being brought up was like people shooting up schools. Like it was just super dramatic stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't have that problem. I'm not going out there and killing nobody.
That's what you always think when you're high.
You know, I was lying to her because she didn't know. Then she would ask me, like, do you smoke? And I'm like, no, I don't smoke. Then one night she was sleeping.
That's enough on that video, man. I just want to get the point out, man. Weed not only affects your mind, it affects your bones, it affects your inside, it affects everything about you. A lot of people don't know, a lot of weed heads, they don't want to go to work. Some of them go, some of them that's been functioning for a while, they functioning weed heads at work. They high over there while you doing all the work. They over there with all the juicy juice and the bubble gum in their jaws, man. Over there looking like Smokey somewhere. Is that a righteous man? Is that a man of the Most High? When your enemy pushed this on your nation? Simple, man. Give me Titus 2:1, man. Simple. This is simple. But, you know, I've been examining, watching these guys, and when I see them, I'm like, whoa! He high. He understand and spike for a few minutes. Dude over here probably reading the scriptures. He over here looking at a bug on the wall, man. He's stuck. And then he's a man of God. Then you see them, they got all kind of, that's when you like that Kool-Aid then, where it be extra sweet, don't it? Have your big glass of Kool-Aid, man, and got all your snacks. Then you see him, they be teaching the class. He had to get up for a minute and go get a snack right quick. Then he come back in there, man, jaws fat, chewing. Ain't doing, man, you got to understand this stuff here will destroy you. Then, let me tell you something. Most people don't understand it. Most broke can't even smoke every day. So if you're taking $20 a day for $30, 30 days, How much money you got going out? That's $600 going out. Do you got a car? Oh, no, I don't need a car, man. Then you got to buy the Swisher Sweets. You got to have gas to go to the trap house. So you got about a G going out a month, and you only make $1,300 a month. Even if you make $2,000 a month, they're going to take out at least $400 in taxes. You only bring it home $1,600. You got $1,000 going out for chronic. See, they don't do the math. What? Read up.
The book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 1. Speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
It says, but speak thou the things that become sound doctrine. It's getting high sound. Reading your Bible high, is that sound? So why do the police arrest you for it? Then they got this medical marijuana out here, man, and they really juicing that stuff up. A lot of people are sick from that stuff, man, because they got so much chemicals in there.
That's right.
That's what people don't understand. So how are you a man of the Lord when your mind ain't right? We don't know.
That the aged men be sober.
Hold up, no, high.
That the aged men be sober.
High.
That the aged men be sober.
He got his eyes and they bloodshot red teeth and they lower like this. Then he very emotional, man. Very effeminate. Then all the woman come out of him. Don't let somebody catch him on a precept you don't know. He all on the camera, man. Spitting like he Al Pacino, man. Like the man got the phone in his hand, man. I'm just telling y'all the truth. You know, this is how they are. But then they gonna come at me for, like I say, you throw a rock into a pack of dogs, the one that get hit, he always gonna bark. So right. You see people leaving bad comments, they leaving it because they want to get high. Read verse 2 again, man.
That the aged men be sober.
These men should be sober, man. Read.
Grave, temperate, sound in faith.
Believing in this Bible, because if you're not sound in faith, you don't believe in what the power. Read.
In charity, in patience.
In charity and love of your brothers, man. This is love to the nation. Read on.
The aged women likewise.
The aged women likewise. Because see, baby, well, this ain't for me. I can get high. I ain't got to teach. Read on.
That they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
Holiness, man. So, if the world out there getting high, that should let you know this ain't about Israel. We are waking up. We are to be a light to our brothers. How can we have brothers coming in this building and we in here high? We out on side of the building, man, passing a token around, man. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go in here, go in class, be in there. Read on, man.
Not false accusers.
Because most of the time you see people smoking, they're gonna be false accusers. They're going to be lying on somebody because they just want to talk. Read.
Not giving too much wine.
Read.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of good things is teaching people not to be dealing with the weed. Telling sisters too. Because you got a lot of them out there on that online. Wicked as hell. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. Young men likewise.
See, and now the young men is the ones that 16 or younger than that, 12. Because they getting high now at the age of 3 now. Little Junior got a blunt rolled up in his pample right now, man. So they starting out early now, man. Believe what I'm telling y'all, man. There's no sanity in these homes no more. The young men's also read.
Exhort to be sober-minded.
So how's you sober-minded when you high? See, nobody thinks about this. Give me 1 Timothy 3:11. Nobody thinks about this. Nobody thinks about this. Read that right quick.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 11. Even so must their wives be grave.
Be grave, read.
Not slanderers.
Read.
Sober.
Sober, man. I want to express this to the sisters because there's a lot of them out there got weak men. Let me tell you something, guys. Don't fall for it. If she want to get high, leave her. Until she put that blunt down. Because guess what? You're already $600 in the hole. You're already 3/5 of a human being. You're already a second-class citizen. You're already last hired, first fired. You already got to go take a drug test to get a job. Why put yourself in there, man? So, good men, great men rule their house well.
Right.
It's order in the house.
Yes,
Read that. Read on.
Faithful in all things.
Faithful in all things. Not getting high. So these sisters, you're not getting a pass, man. Well, my boo, he get high. I don't get high. He teach me. Yeah, you and your boo gonna get y'all neck snapped off soon, man.
Right.
That's what you and the boo got coming. Back to Titus 2 and 12. See, they don't want to hear that. Read that up. Titus 2 and 12. So the thing is, we just want to make sure that our nation, how we gonna be an Israelite school and we got doobies and stuff all in the back? We understand our enemy is on our tail. How we gonna have weed in our car? How? How we gonna be at the trap? How we gonna be still affiliating ourselves at the trap house? Don't make sense. You got to be stupid to be smoking weed.
Read out the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 12. Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust.
See, you got to be taught these things, man. That you got to deny your flesh. Because that's what's wanted. Your flesh want to get high. Spirit in there like, man, I'm in here, man, twisted now. I don't like this feeling. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit today. This is the last nickel sack I'm buying. Now I'm out of it, man. The nickel sack gone. You wake up in the morning like, man, 1 o'clock. You like, oh, man, I'm saying, I ain't going to get no weed. 6:30, you got a blood in your hand. That flesh is a mother, ain't it, man? You're like, how did I do it? I didn't even go nowhere. Spirit don't want to do it, but they did the same. You go through the same thing. I'm telling them what they're going. The same thing in there. This nickel sack, I'm done, man. I'm not getting high no more. I'm not gonna go buy the weed no more. You have to change your environment, man.
That's right. That's right.
Change the people you know. That's why I tell these Israelites that like to be solo, they need help, man. You need to be around spiritual people. Then they come in here, y'all holy, then die. No, we just keep the commandment. We're trying to get to the kingdom. We're going out.
We should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world.
Godly in this present world. We shouldn't be niggas in this world, man. We shouldn't be out on the streets with our eyes red trying to teach somebody. Madness. Give me 2 Chronicles 34 and 14. It's madness. It's madness that's going on in Israel. That's why you see so much strife and stuff. Because if a brother was in the right spirit, he wouldn't be at that doing these things in that direction. Read that right quick, God.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 34, verse 14. And when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord.
See, this money at this time was silver. How you gonna give alms to a nigga that's getting high? How? The whole leadership, they all high. You sending your money in to some niggas to get high. So that's why, and I'm gonna tell you something. And I know some of them, I don't know, I was watching, I'm gonna give you this one brother. I was watching my brother Sakari, Gorilla Hebrew, and they was having a debate. And Sakari seen me in there, and I punched in, he seen me type in. I said, ask him, is he high? So he finally asked the dude, I ain't gonna put my business out there. Yeah, I get it though. So watch who you sending your money to. Read on up.
Because the priest found a book of the law of the Lord given by Moses.
He found the instruction, the direction, man, of this book of the law. It's a law against smoking weed, man. Read on.
And Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord.
This is the law, it's our customs, man. Read on.
And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan. And Shaphan carried the book to the king, and brought the king word back again, saying, all that was committed to thy servant,
all that required to thy servant, all that is required of thy servant, read.
they do it.
They do it, man. That means no smoking weed, Israel. No getting high. Some of y'all probably watching. Gotta go clear out, get your doobies out, man. Go flush it down the toilet, man. Go get rid of all the weed tonight, man. Because if Yahweh shall come here and you hide and repent and pray, man, some of you need to fast. But read on.
And they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord.
See, there won't be no money in there because it's going to all be going right back. These are men that still living worldly. But read on.
And have delivered it into the hand of the overseer.
The ones that are appointed to push this, to do this work. But read on.
Into the hands of the workmen.
Read on.
Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest has given me a book.
The law. Read.
And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the law,
See, and that's the book. Read on.
that he rent his clothes.
That he put his, hey man, get yourself in order, man. Because without these laws, we're going to stay out of order. We're not going to be getting high in the kingdom. It's going to be clean necks that's going to get snapped. Read on.
And the king commanded Hilkiah and Achan, the son of Shaphan, and Abdon, the son of Micah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Asaiah, a servant of the king, saying, Go, inquire of the Lord for me.
He said, go and inquire. That's the thing that y'all out there having issues, man. Get away from the Negroes that's out there still getting high. Go and inquire for the Lord, man. Read on.
For them that are left in Israel and in Judah, concerning the words of the book that is found.
Read on.
For great is the wrath of the Lord.
See, for great is the wrath, the anger that's going to come on these brothers, man. They can be pissed off. They're not mad at me. They're mad at the Lord. They hate God, man. That's all it is. They hate Elohim like they want, Yahweh shot. Think we don't know the word, but we edify because someone that might not understand what we're doing, here's reading out the Bible, and here's going precept for precept, get understanding. But read on.
For great is the wrath of the Lord that is poured out upon us, because our fathers have not kept the word of the Lord.
Just like these niggas that still getting high, they don't want to keep the word of the Lord.
That's right.
Read on.
To do after all that is written in the book.
Read on.
And Hilkiah, and they that the king appointed went to.
That's it. Stop right there. Jump down to verse 30.
Verse 30. And the king went up into the house of the Lord, and all the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and the priests and the Levites, and all the people, great and small. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant that was found in the house of the Lord.
Read on.
And the king stood in his place and made a covenant before the Lord.
That's what Israel needs to understand. They better get in order, man. Read.
To walk after the Lord.
To walk. See, how you walking after the Lord and you buzzed? How can you be walking after the Lord and you high? Read on.
And to keep his commandments.
And to what?
And to keep his commandments.
Israel don't want to do it. Read.
And his testimony.
Read on.
And his statutes. With all his heart.
Hold up. With all his what?
With all his heart.
How can you do that with your mind when it's been you destroyed it with that chronic, with that cannabis?
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
And with all his soul. To perform the words of the covenant which were written in this book.
It was written in this book, man. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. And he caused all that were present in Jerusalem and Benjamin to stand to it. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem did according to the covenant of God and the God of their fathers.
See, give me wisdom of Solomon 2 and 1, man. See, the thing is, Israel, when we're in this truth, like Paul said, be ye followers of me, even as I am of Christ. Some of these people ain't following Christ. Some of our nation are following means. That's the problem with Israel. Because if you're following a man, you better make sure that he's living this. I keep telling people, this is a lifestyle. This is not about you Israelite. You have to be living this lifestyle now. That what makes you perfect. As you grow as a plant, you're growing in a righteous way. But if you're going to the left this day, and now you're back over to the right, and you're just going back and forth, so that plant is not going to be right. You're going to have to pluck it out soon. So the thing is, get you a firm foundation when you come in this truth. And I know some of y'all are men pleasers, man. Y'all need to understand what we're trying to show y'all is to examine the spirit, man. Prove that person. Know something about him before you just put all your faith in him. And that's why I say, being around a brother, you see his actions. You see one body, man. You see us out there in the streets, man. You can tell by our actions, we means up the Most High.
That's right.
We're not looking for no fame, bang, glory. We're not out here to be debating, going back and forth with brother. We're not worried about the dead sheep. We out there looking for the live sheep, man.
Right.
Read up the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves.
See, that's what the ungodly say. Well, I can smoke weed, man. God put it on the earth, man. We should be able to get high. See, that's what they say. They always reasoning with themselves because the Most High gonna snatch their neck out their socket. Read on.
But not a right.
But not a right. Read.
Our life is short and tedious.
See, our life is short and tiresome, man. I need something to relax on. Read.
And in the death of a man there is no remedy.
There is no cure. Read.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
See, read on.
But we are born in all adventure.
We are born of all adventure, uncertainly outcome. And some of them lose faith, man. Some of them not in the truth. Some of them just know about the truth. Y'all have to understand you're going to have pretender lights in this truth. The 2/3 are going away. And all they're going to do is cause confusion. That's their job. Read on.
And we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke.
Is what?
Is as smoke.
See, that's the smoke they thinking. That's probably the lake of fire the Most High going to be putting them in. Read on.
And a little spark in the moving of our heart.
Read on.
Which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes.
What are their bodies are going to be turned into?
Turned into ashes.
You're going to be just like the ash you dumping in an ashtray. Read.
And our spirits shall vanish as the soft air.
And your spirit's going to vanish just like that smoke that come out that Swisher Sweet. Read on.
And our names shall be forgotten in time.
Their names, are these guys that calling themselves Israelites, they got Hebrew names and everything. Yaakov or whoever. Read that last part again.
And our names shall be forgotten in time.
Their name are going to be forgotten. Y'all ain't going to know about them, man. This is a marathon. So you have to pace yourself, Israel. This is not a sprint. Read on.
And no man shall have our works in remembrance.
No man is going to remember what they did here because they was niggas. I don't even call them Israelites. Read.
And our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud.
Read on.
And shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning.
There is no returning, man. It's worse for someone that's awake to be, when you're awake and you smoking. We got some wicked schools out here, but now I'm just seeing more and more high and trying to teach. That's why you see a lot of them that can't even gather with the body. Read on.
For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again.
No man cometh again. Read on.
Come on, therefore. Let us enjoy the good things that are present.
They saying, come on, therefore. Let us enjoy the good things that are present. So they want to enjoy this lifestyle. You got a lot of them that's going to be at mama's house for Christmas. Now, if the house burned down and they get caught in there, they get what they deserve. Read on.
Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Read on.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by.
See, they want to enjoy the fruits of this world, man. He said you have to lose your life to find your life.
That's right.
How can you lose your life when you high? You still ain't found yourself. Read on.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness.
Luxury, man. Because when you understand you got weed is a luxury. Just like going out to eat is luxury. Just like a lot of the things that Israel is still doing. Some of them still standing outside for them joints. It looks very bad for us to be as a nation, to be craving the things here that we once knew that kept us on the bottom. It's simple here, man. If you're smart enough here, you can thrive in Esau kingdom. But see, 85% of our nation, they still working on the back end. Some of them like to struggle because it makes them feel good inside. But some of us, we're trying to help our nation. Read on.
Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place.
See, read.
For this is our portion, and our lot is this.
And our lot is this, death. Because you shouldn't be smoking weed, man. You shouldn't be getting high, period. I don't care. You shouldn't even cook it. I'm talking about making you a brownie. I'm just serious, man. Give me 1 Peter 4:1. The thing is, Israel want to continue in sin, but as I start to see, and so many Israelites we talking to, how long you been away? 2 weeks, man. These are the ones that are going to make it, the ones that are going to get raised the right way, get fed the right way, man. Because a lot of our people, man, the only thing they think about is self. A lot of Israelites, they all still about self. You should be about your nation first. Read that out.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh.
Christ suffered for us in the flesh. Was he high? Did he get high? Was he a perfect man? So we would be like Christ. We supposed to be perfect too. We supposed to be suffering in the flesh too. Read.
Arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Arm yourself likewise with the same mind. So if you got the same mind as Christ? No. You got the same mind as that nigga on the street corner, man. That same one that's smoking crack. That same one that's whoring out his sister, that sister whoring out her husband. That's the same mind that you have. You don't have the same mind as Christ. Read on.
For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
So, read that last part again.
For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
So, if you still getting high, you still in sin. It's plain and simple. Read on.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God.
Some of them, they continue in that same realm. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead.
To them that are dead, man. Read.
That they might be judged according to men in the flesh.
They're going to be judged that way, man. Read on.
But live according to God in the spirit.
But you got to live according to God in the spirit. You're not in the spirit if you're getting high. And I'm going to tell you something. Israel is looking for that garbage out there, man. You got to get your spirit right. And a lot of times I tell brothers and sisters, you got to turn that mess off, man. Brothers sitting on there talking about each other, you got to shut that down. Like, we got to shut this kingdom down. We have to work together. Give me Romans 13:1. We have to shut it down. We can't be worried about what the other nations doing. We're supposed to be a light to the world, to our world. So they'll see our good works. Read that out.
The book of Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Read on.
For there is no power but of God.
See, then some people will tell you this is America. They say, let every soul be subject unto a higher power. For there is no power but of God, man. So you're supposed to be subjected to the power. No, you want to be subjected to Esau. Esau said it's medical marijuana, so you can do it now. I got a card that say I can go get high. You got a card that says you won't die. Read on.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
Read on.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
Resisting because Esau ain't got the ordinance of God, man. He's the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Read on.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Read on.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
See, do that which is good. Smoking is not good, man. We here to please Yahweh and the Most High, man. We're not here to please Esau. When you was in that world, that's who you was pleasing. Because you was going out on Christmas, shopping, you was having Thanksgiving, you was celebrating New Year's in the dead of the winter, you was going by Mama house on Mother's Day, you was just being a good slave. A programmed slave. Read on.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid.
Be what?
Be afraid.
Be afraid, because he is Yahweh. Be afraid, man. Read.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
See, Esau is his sword right now. Read on.
For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
So when you understand the Most High uses our enemy to punish us, so how's it going to look with an Israelite, he in jail with his fringes on, or his garment on, and he down there for what? Marijuana. And I wonder, this school that they just, a year ago, that they just busted, I wonder why did they bust them? Why did they go in there? They had to be doing something illegal, man. Because Esau ain't going to find nothing in here illegal.
That's right.
So the thing is, being a light to our nation, man. So when a young art come up to you and see your good works, he's going to want to mimic what you're doing. So you can't be out here hiding this truth. You're going to destroy their spirit. Give me this last video, man. Hold up. Jump down to 11.
Verse 11. And that, knowing the time.
And that, knowing the time, read.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
You got to wake up out your high, man. You got to understand. We ready to get out of here, man. We got a lot of Israelites that enjoy being on the bottom. And the same Negroes that's teaching you can get high now, they're teaching America is not Babylon. Straight madness. Read on.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Read.
That night is far spent. The day is at hand.
The day is at hand, man. Read.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
You need to cast off the work of darkness, man. Getting high is the work of darkness. Read.
And let us put on the armor of light.
And what?
And let us put on the armor of light.
Let us put on the armor of light, man. Read on.
Let us walk honestly.
Let us what?
Let us walk honestly.
In the truth, we got to walk honestly, man. Read on.
As in the day.
As in the day, because we are the light to our nation. Read on.
Not in rioting and drunkenness.
Not in rioting, not in getting high and drunkenness. Read on.
Not in chambering and wantonness.
Not in chambering and wantonness. Not in fornication, sexual immorality. Not in wanting, unruly man. Read on.
Not in strife and envy.
Not in strife and envying each other. Read.
But put ye on the Lord Yahweh.
Put ye on the Lord Yahweh. Read on.
And make not provisions for the flesh.
Don't be making no provision for the flesh. No providing for the flesh. I got to get high for the flesh. I can go smoke crack for the flesh. I can go do meth for the flesh. Anything for the flesh, you shouldn't. That's why it's good to fast, man. When you're going through things, it is good to fast. Punish the body. Read on.
To fulfill the lust thereof.
All they're doing is fulfilling the lust. Because normally when you're getting high, you start watching porno. You start wanting to deal with other sisters. You don't want to do the work of the Lord. You got everything on your mind but the right thing. Weed shut down half your mind. Just a functioning drunk. Play the next video out.
Marijuana is a part of the cannabis plant that includes the flowers, seeds, leaves, and stems. Most people consume marijuana by smoking it. When you inhale the smoke, the drug goes into your bloodstream and makes its way to your brain and the rest of your body. If you're eating marijuana, the effect is a little bit different and it takes a lot longer to take hold. But we're not talking about eating marijuana, we're talking about smoking marijuana. Firstly, let's start with what it does to your brain. The main appeal of marijuana is it causes your brain to release dopamine. This is what makes you feel high. In addition to the euphoria, dopamine improves your sensory perception. This is why food might taste different or better when you've smoked weed. Pain can feel more intense, and you're far more sensitive to being touched. Marijuana, like alcohol, impairs your judgment. The way you process information may be different, depending on the person. It is an effective way to combat depression, but once you're going through withdrawal from marijuana, the depression may return with a vengeance. It can also help with anxiety by helping you relax, or it could even make your anxiety worse. Marijuana also causes memory problems. You may find that when you smoke marijuana, your short-term memory is not as sharp. Your eyes can also become bloodshot as THC causes the blood vessels in your eyes to expand. Let's move down the body. Many people who smoke marijuana will cough, experience dry mouth, and a sore throat. These effects are temporary, but smoking it in general is pretty bad for your lungs. And excessive smoking can irritate your bronchial passages, increasing your risk of bronchitis. Frequent smokers will also produce a lot of phlegm. Almost immediately after you smoke weed, your heart rate is accelerated. This heightened heart rate can last hours. Your balance, coordination, and posture are also affected when you smoke pot. After smoking, you will almost certainly develop an appetite. This is commonly known as the munchies.
That's it, man. So that's why I tell you can't have no... And people that smoke weed, they eat the worst of food. They looking for the easy snack in the kitchen, man. 1 Peter 5:8. I hope that Israel understand, man. This is just the truth, man. Read that out.
The book of First.
Get that other
The
one.
book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober.
It say be sober, man. Read.
Be vigilant.
Be vigilant. Be alert. Be on watch, man. Read.
Because your adversary, the devil,
So-called white man. Read.
as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour.
Because you have to understand, the alphabet boys probably already watching us. So all they doing is probably trying to build up enough information on you to expose you. You going on the news media for being a tourist, and then you getting high. They're gonna try to use this propaganda to cause people not to even wanna come to this truth. First Corinthians 3:16. So I'm just these precepts. I'm just trying to figure out what scripture do you use to say that this is not what it's saying. Read that out.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So if you're the temple of God, you walking in the presence of God. You're supposed to be just like the power. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
So when you in this truth, the Spirit of God dwells in you. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God,
Any man defiling this temple, read.
him shall God destroy.
Simple, plain, and fact, man. Read.
For the temple of God is holy,
Read on.
which temple ye are.
Which temple you are? You're not the temple of God. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Because we're going to have people, they're going to go in here and try to... There's no word in this Bible that says cannabis. No past. I looked everything up. So the words that they're trying to use, I didn't bring this. The words that they're trying to use is not what it's saying. These are some Edomites that want to smoke weed. A lot of times you have to examine everything, man, where you're getting this information from. Because our forefathers was not getting high. Read that out.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved,
Read on.
let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit.
See, let us cleanse ourselves, man. Read.
Perfecting holiness in the fear of God.
That's what they should be doing. How you going to be perfecting holiness in the fear of God when you hot? It behooves me. Give me 1 Peter 1 and 13. It behooves me that people thinking they're going to get high and get into the kingdom. Smoking cigarettes, anything, man. You shouldn't do these things. Read that out.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
Gird up the loins of your mind, man. Read.
Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
Read on.
And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of your house.
At the revealing of your house, man. You should be getting yourself together so that you'll have hope that you do get to the kingdom. Your house shall come, you got a nickel sack in your pocket. Wow. You at the store trying to get you some sweets. Read on,
as obedient children.
And obedient children are law-abiding Israelites. Read.
Not fashioning yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance.
And they're what?
In your ignorance.
Because some of them fashion themselves, because, you know, we all come out that world. So some of them that used to smoke weed, that thing they'll hold on to them, man. They be laying down at nighttime and we be calling them, phone ringing. Hey, man, who is this? It's a W-E-E-D, what? Hello? Say, buddy, what you doing? I'm just telling you, man, that's how this thing be bothering you. You know.
But as he which has called you is holy.
See, the one that Yahushua that called you is holy. Read.
So be ye holy in all manner of conversation.
Even in the conversation, but read on.
Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy.
See, in Leviticus 20:26, it say, be ye holy, for I am holy. Be ye separate. We can't be like the world, man. Read on.
And if ye call on the Father, who without respect of person, judge it according to every man's work.
See, he's going to judge you according to every man's work. Read.
Pass the time of your sojourning here in fear.
No, pass the time of getting high.
Sojourning here in fear.
Someone want to pass the time of getting high, man. So you have to understand, you shouldn't be high in this truth. Give me Proverbs 25:28. So the thing is, I'm not worried about the niggas out there that are going to be fighting to continue to get high. Let them get high. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to share the truth with them either. Hey, man, why was I out there in the streets with you? Too bad. Read that right quick, out of
the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 28. He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
A lot of these guys that you see that's getting high, they don't have no rule over their own spirit, man. Their spirit, you can't get into the kingdom and you still in the flesh.
That's right.
You won't make it into the kingdom and you still live in the way that you came into the truth. Change your ways. Give me Titus 1 and 15. You have to change. You have to become an Israelite. We've been taught here to be slaves. Everything you know, you have to forget it. Come to the truth. Don't let no man that's getting high, man, teach you.
That's right.
That you should continue in that sin. Because he's a man that probably know he's not going to make it in the spirit. Read that out.
The book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 15. Unto the pure, all things are pure.
All things are pure. Read.
But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure.
See, them that defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Oh, them niggas, they act like they're too good over there, man. That's how they feel. I can't stand them Israelites over there. They act holier than thou. No, we just keep the commandments, man. No, we're not getting high. That's your problem. Read on.
But even their mind and conscience is defiled.
Their mind and conscience is defiled, man. Read.
They profess that they know God.
They always telling you they got their what they be saying, shalom. How about Shimon Muhammad? I'm seeing all that stuff, man. You're like, man, this dude here cold, ain't it? Working throwing thunder, one on. And, slapping you all over, giving you hugs around the back. Then you smell this dude eye. That's why he's so crazy. They profess that they know God. Read on.
But in works, they deny him.
But in their works, they deny him, man. In their works, they deny him. Read on.
Being abominable.
Being abominable. Just go for the sister. She walked through. Shalom. She high as hell, too. So, in their works, they deny him. Read on.
And disobedient.
Very disobedient. Hate anything about these laws. Read.
And unto every good work, reprobate.
Reprobated in the mind, man. Don't like to see nothing. They don't like to see Israel build. They the only ones out here making videos about each other, trying to tear each other down, man. Give me 1 Timothy 4:1. I'm just giving you the truth. Read up. You might? Oh, okay.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. In verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith.
See, you got to understand, some of them going to depart from the truth. They're going to be having walking around with their friends at home. They're going to be still hollering shalom. They're going to still be dropping scriptures on Facebook. They're going to still be on YouTube making videos. Read on.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
Any seducing spirit out there, they want, that's where they gravitate. Read.
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of what?
And doctrines of devils.
Because if you talking about getting high, you in the doctrines of devils, man. Read on.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy.
That's all they do, speak lies and hypocrisy. Read.
Having their conscience seared.
Having their mind seared. Read.
With a hot iron.
They going off, man. They going off. Because they want to apply scriptures that can say that they can smoke. But you're going to have to find me somewhere in here and show me that Am prophet smoked. Am's sister smoked. Nowhere in the scriptures it say we ever dealt with cannabis. Cannabis really didn't come onto the scene until the Romans' time. A lot of times we listen to so much of what the white man has taught us. We have no knowledge of what the Most High is trying to show us. That's the problem with Israel. Give me James 1:1. Stop following man's Israel, because when they getting high, they're going to want you to get high with them. See, we'll deal with that too. Read it out.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of God, and the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings.
See, these messages and these videos that we put out, they are for the 12 tribes, man. Read on.
My brethren.
It say, my brethren, read.
Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation.
See, a lot of our people, they're going to fall into diverse temptation because you got so much going on out here. Read on.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
See, everything that you're going to go through is the trying of your faith worketh patience. You shouldn't let me tell you something. I don't let nothing bother me, man. White man can call me and tell me he stole my car. Okay, where is it at? See, he can call me and tell me my license is suspended. I'm like, how do I get him back on track? See, it's nothing here that should worry you, man. Because you should push all your curves on the power. So when you still leading, you mean you still in the flesh. Read on.
But let patience have her perfect work.
See, let patience, because patience have a perfect work. Read on.
That ye may be perfect and entire.
That you may be perfect. How is you perfect and you getting high, man? How? I don't know. Entire means whole. Read.
Wanting nothing.
Wanting what?
Wanting nothing.
Read on.
If any of you lack wisdom,
read.
Let him ask of God.
Let him pray, man. Let him fast. Read.
That giveth to all men liberally.
He give all men freedom of action. So whatever you feel like you want, if you want to go get high, Most High not gonna stop you, because he gonna snatch his neck off your shoulder soon. Read on.
and upbraideth not,
And revealeth not. Read on.
and it shall be given him.
And whatever you want, man, if you put your faith in the power, you have to trust in the power. You have to wake up in the morning knowing that you're walking with the power. You have to go to sleep praying that the power that you put, because when you sleep, you ain't in control. You have to put your faith in the power that you're going to wake up that next morning, because he can leave you sleep. So we have to start depending on the power, man. Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
See, a double-minded person is unstable, man. See, a double-minded man is he's undecided about everything. See, because you come into the truth and you build on the truth, now you touching other doctrines. See, that's a double-minded man. You in one school, you go to another school, now you want to believe in all the garbage they teaching over there, if they teaching the truth. Now everybody else somewhere else is in sin. That's a double-minded man. Be careful. In all his ways. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
Because when somebody come over, hey, man, got this weed, man. They call this orange kush. Yeah, man, come on in, let's try it. See, when you weak in the faith, man, you ain't got no strong foundation. You're not around brothers. You're going to have these things happen. Read on.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
See, when you try, man, you're like, oh, no. Don't come around here with that garbage, man. You're going to receive the crown of life. Read on.
Which the Lord has promised to them that love him.
So when you love him, you keep the commandments. When you don't, you hate him. And he said he's going to pay you to your face. Read.
Let no man say when he is tempted.
See, let no man say he is tempted. Read.
I am tempted of God.
No, that was that nigga that knew you used to know. Get away from him. See, a lot of y'all watch television. I tell you, smoke cigarettes. Guess what they're going to have? You're going to be like at home. Like every time they got a commercial or somebody puffing. You're going to be like, damn, every movie you watching, they getting high. So you have to understand certain things you have to stay away from until you're spiritually built. Read.
For God cannot be tempted with evil.
God is not tempted with evil, only man. Read.
Neither tempted he any man.
Neither he don't even tempt man. Read on.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
That's when they go back to smoking, man. They tempted of their own lust. Read on.
And enticed.
And enticed, because it might be Big Booty Judy. She come by, you know, y'all working together. She call you over to the house and stuff. You go over there. You in the truth, you still be trying to go home and study. So she come over to the house and she got her blunt in there and she in there getting high. You in there like, I want to do something, but leave her alone, man. Get strong in the truth. Don't be a fool, man. You weak. Read on.
Then when lust has conceived,
read on.
It bringeth forth sin.
Now you don't got down with her. Then tomorrow at work, she gonna have an attitude. They gonna bring her lunch today. So be careful, man, with what you're doing, even when you're working. The people that you're working with, man, if they out their job and they want to come by y'all teach them this truth. But don't go to work with it. Always remember that. Stay from their job with it, because they're going to run in there and tell Master he hates you. Read on.
And sin, when it is finished, bringing forth death.
And when you finish, man, it's going to bring forth death. Horn your sisters out. Sisters horn himself out. Read.
Do not err, my beloved brother.
They say do not err. Don't err, people. Don't go off, man. Stay on the right path. Get around people that are spiritual, man. Get around people that love you. It's a work in progress. Everything's not perfect, man, because a lot of us still coming out the world. Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
See, the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Read on.
Wherefore lay upon all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word.
And the engrafted word is truth. Read on.
Which is able to save your soul.
Which is able to save your soul. Read.
But be ye doers of the word.
It say be ye doers. So if you're doing the word, you're doing it, that's action, man. That means you're keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
and not hearers only.
Some of them are hearers only, man. I don't like them 2 or 3 verses. But read on.
Deceiving your own self.
Some of them deceive their own self. Read on.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass.
And face in the glass, man. Destruction. Read on.
For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he be not a forgetful hearer.
Read on.
But a doer of the word.
Read.
This man shall be blessed in his deed.
This man's going to be blessed in his deed. Give me Revelation 21:8, man. This man going to be blessed in his deeds. Because you can't be blessed in your deed if you hide. Let's see what happened to those that don't want to repent. Read on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 8. But the fearful and the unbelievers.
See, because some of them that's following man, they still ain't going to believe because they're going to want to get high. They're going to want to fulfill the flesh. Read.
And the abominable.
The abominable, man. Read on.
And murderers. And whoremongers.
Because these murderers can be brothers that hate their own brothers. This ain't actually talking about someone killing somebody. The hatred of your own nation. And whoremongers. You got women that whoremongers in this truth. They all over the place. They going from one state to the next state finding the Israelite man. Damn, sit down somewhere. Read on.
And sorcerers.
And sorcerers. Ones that try to deceive you and twist scriptures to make it fit what they want it to fit. Read.
And idolaters.
Ones that want to have that weed and that blunt in their house. Read on.
And all liars.
And all liars. Read.
Shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone.
So you ain't got to worry about a light then. Read on.
Which is the second death.
Which is what?
Which is the second death.
Second death, Israel. You ain't got to worry about getting a light then. All you got to do is stick it in where you at and just blaze up. Shalom, Israel.